Ho ho! Far be it from me to let a learning opportunity go by, and I can talk about the NYPD and the history of the NYPD or lessons learned on the NYPD. Yes. In today's subject, what do you guess what it is? Corporation Counsel and lawsuits. So many people are talking about, thinking to themselves, what the fuck's a Corporation Counsel? What is corporation? I'm going to cover that in the video, so just sit back, relax, and go along for the ride.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey folks, I'm Dutch Doll. I'm the host of Dutch Doll Discussions. How are we doing today? Today we're going to talk about the voices in my head and what they're saying. They're laughing right now. They're absolutely fucking laughing. I thought we put this subject to bed a year ago when we brought this up, but other people have brought this up. It's been looked into by people better than me, and it's been examined by people better than me, and they came to the same conclusion everybody else has so far, except for one person. Oh my god, what's the big fucking deal? Any cop that gets on the job is subject to a lawsuit. Congratulations, here's your gun, here's your shield, you have an education in the police academy, you're going to go out and do your job. You're going to arrest people, take their freedom away from them, and they're going to be pissed off. So what do when they get pissed off? And they get out, on whatever bail they have, they go straight to a civil lawyer and they file for false arrest. Lawsuit happens all the time. We see fraudsters constantly suing cops all the time. A good cop is going to get lawsuits. And we addressed this. It's been pulled by Blue Bacon. He read the lawsuits. Extra Good Citizen, a guy from the other side, pulled the lawsuits. He read them. It is what it is. It was 3. It was a slow day at the office. And let me address the term of blanket lawsuit. When I say blanket, I don't mean it was a whole department. I mean it was anybody on the stack. Remember we did a whole video about doing search warrants and 8 guys on the stack and the shields and the bunker security and the cuff and toss guys in the back and securing prisoners and going through the house, having the train move through. Remember that? 9 times out of 10, when a lawsuit comes down, that tack plan becomes Rosario material and he gets released to the defense attorney. The defense attorney sometimes works in conjunction with the civil attorney to file this lawsuit so they can get paid maybe on the back end of it, because it's called the New York City Lottery. What do? You throw your card in the ring and see if somebody picks it. That's all it is. So two of my lawsuits, which we discussed, were one was when I was in auto crime. Auto crime, really? Stolen cars? Yeah, we hit a auto crime warrant, and the whole entire stack, including the captain, the lieutenant, and the 2 sergeants, won the lawsuit. That's when you look at the lawsuits in that program, all those blue names are subjects of the lawsuit, not just Detective McCarthy and Detective everybody is. That's the whole stack. All 8 guys and anybody who's there at the scene. Anybody who's signed a piece of paper that goes into that warrant folder to execute to get the search warrant from the judge is subject to a lawsuit. That's what a blanket lawsuit is. Not against one individual person or 2 partners in a car doing patrol. So if you're on a stack, let's say you're filling in on a stack for a search warrant, because narcotics needs an extra guy, they don't have enough people in the office that day because of the Christmas party or something like that, or funeral to go to, or so you fill it in. You may have nothing to do with the case, but you know how to do a stack. You know how to do a search warrant. So what happens? 5 o'clock in the morning comes. Police! Search warrant! Open the door right now! You see it 3 times. The boom goes back. Boom! The boom hits the door and the door goes down. All 8 guys rush in, performing their various duties, what they have to do to get the warrant done. Nobody's shot. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's beat up. Perps are cuffed up. They're taking outside in their pajamas, whatever the fuck they're wearing. If they're not dressed, we have to dress them. Put a coat on them and they go right down to the precinct for booking. Yes. Booking. After being booked, they're placed in a cell waiting for transport down to central booking. where they redo the whole process all over again. I don't know why we do it twice in a precinct and then central booking, but that's how they do things. And while they're in that cell, they're with other prisoners and criminals and whatnot, and they all start getting that jailhouse lawyer on. You know, like, you can sue them, they can't do that. You can sue them, they can't do that. Like, people kept saying doxing was illegal. No, it's not. It's immoral, not illegal. That's the important thing. It's not illegal. I'm not crossing any lines. Anything that starts with PL, penal law, I'm not doing. So you twist and you turn. And then you see the judge. And the judge is like, $5,000 bail, or remanded, or ROR, or what, release of recognizance, whatever the fuck it is, right? And you leave. And there is a shyster lawyer, the term we use, shyster, in the lobby, handing out business cards to people who want to sue the police department. I swear to God, it really happens. It happens all the time. Just like those two, Benita Zellman and Sandy Rubenstein. Now, you may remember Sandy Rubenstein because he was accused of drugging women, popping the Viagra, and raping them. Never proven. Never proven. Never found guilty. Never proven. He's a friend of Al Sharpton. You know, because Al loves the police. I mean, if you were a cop in New York City, there's no way you don't know Al Sharpton. I grew up on Al Sharpton on the TV set with the FBI scandal and everything. Buying drugs, trying to get off of tax evasion and stuff like that. And Benita Zellman, I just happen to be so lucky that my last lawsuit that I was personally named in, not a blanket, but a personal name, is defending that client. Now, that lawsuit's been going on for almost 13 years or something like that. It's a long time. I'm not sure of the number of years, but it's been going on a long time. And Benita's making it quite the experience. I actually got called down there recently, since I retired, to go give a deposition. I've given 5 depositions on that lawsuit. But we've talked about the case ourselves. He stole a car. He jumped out of a moving stolen car, set the car creaming at 40 miles an hour into parked cars and into a lamppost. And he got up and tried to run away, and we tackled him, but his leg was broken because he jumped out of a stolen car while the car was in motion. Well, the story about that incident, that perp, gets better. So he sits in the hospital for days on end, right? Now, we can't find the fact that the car was stolen. The woman hadn't reported it yet that night. So we're like, we know the car, so the ignition popped, the car's stolen. As we're sitting there talking to IAB and the force relevant guys telling us, evaluating our force and whatnot, we didn't really use gunpoint. He tried to run and we get on the fucking floor and we dropped him and cuffed him up. We did render medical aid immediately when we found out what was going on. Called for a bus to the boss. And that was it. So time goes on. He's released on his own recognizance because he's not going to run anywhere. Now this gentleman goes out partying because he's suing the police department. He's going to be a millionaire. He's going to make lots of money. And he goes into a bar. Gunman breaks into the bar. Starts shooting people. But my perp, the one who's suing me, is the target. Show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. Not to mention that my perp had a long rap sheet. Car theft on it multiple times. So, he goes to run. He can't run because of his leg, and he's shot. And what am I getting sued for? Wrongful death because he couldn't run away. I didn't... Okay, it's after the fact. It's after the fact. But, folks, you make an arrest. It happens. It's the only retaliation they have. They make a civilian complaint against you. They do. And that really... Listen, if you have a reason for why you did it and you were within guidelines of the patrol guide, right? Nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing. Have a reason for the actions you take. That's it. And you're covered. You know, the immunity, the fucking qualified immunity that everybody keeps talking about, that takes us to corporate counsel. So you're at the precinct and you're served with lawsuit papers, which is wrong. You can't serve a cop at the precinct. It's got to go through the legal department at headquarters. They'll get the paperwork to us. If any sort of lawsuit people watching this, the paperwork will get to us. Trust me, we'll get to it. And we review with our administrative lieutenant and do I qualify for department counsel? Like, we have to apply for department counsel. It's not automatically given to us. And if the department does not agree with what you did, they could be like, you're on your own, kid. And then you have to foot the bill yourself. But the city fathers, with Corporation Counsel, which handles every lawsuit against the city, You go down there with them, and you explain the case to them, and the lawyer will make the decision. Are we going to represent you or not represent you? Well, I haven't paid for a lawyer yet. All my stuff was taken in good faith, or being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or being attached to a search warrant in some way. Those are the two blanket ones. The one with the stolen car, that was all me. Got cleared by Internal Affairs. We've talked about this before. It's no big deal. I mean, it's been investigated before. People on the other side have investigated trying to exploit it. Blue Bacon, who everybody respects, looked at it. She's a cop doing his job. If you're out there doing your job, you're going to get complaints. The only retaliation people have against you. 3 lawsuits in 21 years. How bad can that be? And I talk about my reputation on the job and how the bosses like me. The bosses like me because I got things done. And the reputation of the job is not with the department I'm talking about. It's with the other cops I worked with. That's what it is. My friends, my coworkers, my family. That's the reputation I'm talking about. I had a great reputation on the job. I loved being with the guys. I loved going out there doing the work. I love that we used to call it God's work. I'm out there doing God's work. Okay. But my CCRBs, on the other hand, let's throw everything out there in this video. I got 36 of those. And they went from forced discourtesy to, not providing my name, which is funny, because on the CCRB record, they mentioned me by name. And when they called him down for the interview, they practically threw him out of CCRB. And CCRB stands for Civilian Complaint Review Board, run by citizens, civilians, not cops. Cops have nothing to do with it. So there's no fix in the works. He goes to the guy like, well, how'd you finally get his name? Well, he gave me his business card. Then he gave you his name, didn't he? And this is before the NYPD gave us business cards. I had my own business cards made up because it was easy when we did interviews to have business cards. And we all start laughing. You don't know who he is, but he gives you a business card. I still have business cards left over. Yeah, I mean, if you're out there doing your job, you're going to get something. You can't make the entire public happy 24 hours a day. There were great cops out there who constantly get lawsuits. Every major case. You don't think Bobby Schmurder's suing the gang unit? Come on. You know he's suing the gang unit. They took him down. That's it. That's just their fuck you to the police department. We got you. You got one on me, but now I'm going to get one on you. I'm going to get paid. And the city of New York does pay out because sometimes, depending who the shyster lawyer is they deal with, it's cheaper to pay it out than it is to pay for a defense. If you want to come after me for 3 lawsuits in 21 years, go right ahead. There's more meat to the CCRBs, but I've never been found guilty of one. Exonerated, substantiated, unsubstantiated. I can't believe we covered this months ago, and we had to recover because somebody didn't do the research. Yeah, folks, but that's New York City in a nutshell when it comes to the Corporation Counsel. And you've always heard me say, police work is a contact sport. It is a contact sport. If that guy doesn't want to go, you're charged with the duty of bringing him in, using whatever force you deem necessary at the time. Usually the perp dictates the amount of force you use. He hits you, you hit him back. He pulls a broken bottle, you pull your nightstick. He starts to try to physically overpower you, you mace him. He pulls a gun, you pull a gun. He fires a gun, you fire a gun back. I mean, it's the neck. We're allowed to meet force to force +1. That's, if you don't want to get hurt, don't commit crimes. If you don't want to get hurt, you don't want to get arrested, don't run from the police. If that car was yours, let's get back to the story with the car. So we're sitting there while we're being interviewed by Internal Affairs and force escalation, the whole 9 yards with my commanding officer there, and I'm a little nervous because kid got hurt. And then the phone rings, the 311 system, and you hear the TS operator, telephone system operator, saying, "Hey, did anybody have a stolen car in the precinct?" Why? There's an old lady on the phone who said a car was stolen out front of her house for a couple hours ago. I'm like, yeah, we got him. We have the car. The car's in the corner of whatever. Baked into a light pole. We haven't gotten the tow truck yet because we came back for IAB. And the IAB guy looks at us and goes, "Go get the car towed out. Go get the car vouchered. Go get your prisoner down to central booking. Oh, wait, you can't. He's got to go to the hospital. Well, go have somebody sit on your prisoner. That's it. That's the story of the lawsuits. 2 were blankets because of 2 search warrants. 8 guys in the stack, and all people were named. One was an auto crime warrant. One was a gang warrant. Gang warrants for a barbershop for a couple of handguns. It was a good one. It was a real sweet hit. And the other one was... It was funny because we knew the kid. What happens, we're heading down Albany Avenue. We get to Maple Street. He's heading up Albany Avenue. It's raining out. We're at a red light. We can see him. We know who he is. And then my partner's about to say, isn't that... And then the car blows light and takes off. We throw on the rollers. Lights go on. Siren goes on. We start chasing them. Yeah. Remember what I said? It's raining out. It was raining out. So we get to 40, 50 miles an hour down the street. Driver's side door opens. Yeah, it's one of these these cars where you close the door and the seatbelt comes across and locks you in. Well, when he opened the door, he didn't realize the seatbelt was still locking him in. And so he goes to jump out of the car and he gets dragged under his own car. I mean, that's it. I mean, there are guys with a lot more lawsuits. Does it make me a bad cop? Fuck no. I got the guy. Fuck. Yeah. Bring our man home. Twice on Sunday. It's a contact sport, people. And who makes it a contact sport? The bad guy committing the job. Because if we ever said, turn around, put your hands behind your back, and you just cuff up, nothing would happen. You'd get cuffed. And you'd be taken away. That's it. When you fight, we have to fight back. But 21 years. Look, I was a year past my retirement due anyway. So, guys go 40, 50 years before they get on so young. The heart attack did me in. I did 20 plus another year. Nobody gets fired over lawsuits when the city's indemnifying them. Indemnifying them. That's a big word Corporation Counsel uses. You're indemnified for your actions. It means there was a reason for your actions. We know you did it, but we have a reason for it. And in the office, even headquarters got a name for it. It's called Good Police Work. Yeah. Well, folks, I didn't expect to do a video about this because I got so many text messages, so many Discord messages. I didn't even watch the video. I'm not going to because we've covered this. And exhaustion. Fucking exhaustion on this. Matter of fact, the last one that I got personally sued in, I got a medal for that. Well, I got a citation for it. Same thing. Which is kind of funny. But, yeah. Bad cop. No donut. I'm Dutch Doyle. These are my discussions. Folks, I want you to enjoy your day. I hope you took a little bit out of this and knows that, yeah, makes sense. The bad guy's going to be spiteful. Yeah. Doesn't want to go to jail. He's going to be spiteful. Just be good. For goodness sakes. Whoa! Somebody's coming! Somebody's coming! Usually the police, but, you know. It's all fun and games till the police get there. Take care. We'll have a holiday video coming out before Christmas. I didn't expect to do anything but a holiday video, but with the amount of text messages, phone calls, emails, and Discord, I had to do something about this. So, folks, I want you to enjoy your day.